Empower who?
Empower me!
Empower who? Empower me! Empower who? Empower me! Empower me! Empower who? Empower me! Empower who? Empower me! Empower me! Empower who? Empower me! Empower.
I am from Atlanta, Georgia, representing Georgia EmpowerMEnt.
Hello everyone, I am Jada Prater. I am from Atlanta, Georgia, also here representing Georgia EmpowerMEnt. I will be shedding light on what we are working on today in our organization. So Georgia EmpowerMEnt is a youth-led organization consisting of former and current foster youth, along with our adult supporters and community partners to help create change in Georgia's welfare system. Georgia EmpowerMEnt has played a key role in advancing policies that positively impact foster youth across Georgia, focusing on education, housing, and economic equity. Georgia has over 11,000 youths in care, and many of them face significant barriers to accessing higher education, including financial hardships and administrative hurdles. Currently, the challenge is while tuition waivers exist for youth in foster care, they are tied to strict eligibility requirements that often disqualify deserving students. These restrictions include age cutoffs or lack of coordination between the foster care and education system. The policy our organization is currently putting our focus on is simplifying and expanding the tuition waiver program for foster youth in Georgia. Currently, Georgia provides a tuition waiver for foster youth attending technical schools. Georgia also has an education and training voucher known as ETV that can be applied to technical schools and four-year universities. However, the waiver has limitations that prevents youth from fully benefiting from the support. So I like to bring it to my personal experience. I have my associate's degree, and while pursuing my associate's degree, I actually, through my own research, found out about the ETV. So I was able to be supported while being in school full-time and working 2 jobs to support myself and pay bills. So I was able to get a $400 monthly stipend, and that did help. But I wasn't able to get my tuition covered or anything because I had access to free funds from the Pell Grant and from federal loans and financial aid. So because I didn't have that, or because I had that already in place, they were basically like, you can't access these funds because that is a last resort. And those funds are needed for my success, but that is the problem.
Yeah, so how many of you have ever helped a young adult transition into adulthood? Okay, yeah, so many of us, foster youth, we need oftentimes a little assistance, and we don't have those like parental support that, I guess a regular student or youth would have. So as y'all hear, we face numerous barriers to post-secondary success, and as a result, we can't use the resources that are available to us. And sometimes that leads to loans or missed educational opportunities. So to address these limitations, we propose removing double dipping penalties, where instead of utilizing the Pell Grant, they can use a true tuition waiver along with additional support such as education and training vouchers to fully cover educational expenses, and streamlining the eligibility criteria to simplify the application process by improving data tracking. And we would also like to propose expanding coverage to 4-year universities so that they can have more of a diverse pathway to success if they choose to do so. So our team felt that this issue aligns with our mission to empower foster youth by removing obstacles that hold them back. By simplifying the process and expanding access to the tuition waiver will help ensure foster youth have the support they need to succeed in education and beyond. So maybe the federal formula may need some adjusting. So one potential action that we believe can be taken is increasing the allocation for Chafee funding. So from fiscal year 2021 to fiscal year 2024, the state received $630,000 less in Chafee funds, and Georgia matches the federal funds at 20%. And this last fiscal year alone, the amount was decreased by $148,000. So education should be a pathway to success, not a source of additional stress and barriers. Education is one of the most successful ways to break generational cycles of child welfare involvement, criminal justice involvement, and poverty. And I just want to leave you guys with one of our fellow colleagues' famous quotes. And she says, Georgia has been the best in business for 5 years, so why not continue to do so?
Thank you for elevating those issues and also being very clear about proposed solutions that could help everyone in Georgia and potentially across the nation. Does anyone have any questions for Georgia Empowerment?
I have a question. You guys mentioned earlier that there are limits for some of the programs. I wanted to know if you guys could talk about what some of those are in your states.
As far as the limits, so the ETV basically, with you having financial aid, if you have any type of resource that can cover your tuition, they are basically use those out, and then if you have nothing, meaning nothing else, no other support, then reach out to us, and then we can help assist you. And that is where you can say that's failure, because why would you wait till I have nothing and then I come to you to ask for something, when the whole point is for me to get everything that I can to lead to my success in my future. And if it is supposed to be free education, it's not supposed to be wait until I have exhausted the resources that are provided me from elsewhere, when for me in the foster system, this is dedicated to me. So that is the problem. They do help with the stipends, and that helps, but $300 or $250 a month for being a part-time student versus $400 a month for being a full-time student, you still are putting that extra baggage on you, and with that little support, and still caring for yourself. So that causes a lot of that caused me not to want to pursue my bachelor's degree, personally. So I pursued school in cloud support, so I do IT, but I can't risk going to school and wasting that money on my, you get what I'm saying? So we need that.
Right. And even like the current tuition waiver, Senate Bill 107 that is currently in place right now, it's not a true tuition waiver. It's not a tuition waiver. Like, it's students' federal funds, Pell Grant funds, and then the limitation of, oh, okay, well you have this, and it's like a few $1,000s, but you still, need housing, secure housing, make sure meal insecurity, transportation assistance, like all that extra stuff. And so when there is like the education and training voucher, you can't utilize tuition waiver and education training voucher because it's considered double dipping. But it's not really double dipping if it's not a true tuition waiver. It's like, you don't have that support.
Empower who?